How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the Bochum Career Mode. We're on episode 3 now, and we're going to kick off today's episode with a game against Hamburg. Now, I believe if they weren't, they should be around the top half of the table, because I would expect they are expecting to return to the Bundesliga this season. They have got a fantastic side, pretty much ready to play in the Bundesliga. And I did have to edit the team to put their strongest team forward, but they've got players like Papadopoulos and Kinsombi, Hunt, Kittel, Harnik, Neri, very good front three. They've got so many players that are all like in the 70s and maybe really young. So Van Drongelen is one player, but they have so many options to play in all the positions. It's actually quite frustrating because I didn't know what their best team is, because there's a lot of good players in that team. I tried to just put it by rating, and hopefully it shows that it was a strong team. I definitely was a little bit wary coming into this game, and as you can see, we actually get the first chance and the first goal of this game. Musa Kone continuing his goal-scoring, not streak, but his goal-scoring bout in the Bundesliga. He has got his second goal of the season now for us, and that's his second goal for the club. Very nice for the young striker, and to be honest, it was a little bit too easy at this point. I was passing it around quite nicely and was managing to sort of dispossess Hamburg quite easily on the ball, and that was quite surprising, I suppose. I know that sometimes the AI can be a little bit easier to break down, but they were actually quite easy to play against until about the 30th minute, and they seemed to just flick a switch and just become very good. I mean, Harnik there, really bad mistake by me, to be fair. It was awful in terms of me passing out. I'm still not quite used to the idea of you just need to clear it in FIFA. That is quite a big problem for me. I always used to try and pass out from the back, but with these sorts of players, they're just not good enough to pass it out from the back, so the ball normally goes to the opposition, and they capitalised on it. Harnik there putting a fantastic finish, to be fair to him, into the goal there, and I mean, it made it 1-1, and I was quite disappointed, to be honest. They weren't having too many chances up until this point, and you'll actually notice we don't cut, because there is another chance almost straight after this. You may be thinking, oh, I go ahead and score straight from kickoff. No, I don't. They get another chance because we make another poor mistake. Really poor pass out by Lee Chung-young, who was actually one of the better passes in this team, which just showed how poor our passing was at this point. We were actually passing it around okay until around about the 30th minute mark, and something just, I think I might have just lost a bit of concentration, and you can see here GANVOULA does well to actually keep hold of the ball. The second pass is poor, and I mean, it's a good ball into the box, but because we make a mistake with the pass, our defenders aren't ready to react, and the ball goes into Harnik, who just instantly reacts, puts the ball into the bottom corner, and it's a really good volley, to be fair to him. And that made it Hamburg 2, Bochum 1, and they came back within, I believe, 3 or 4 minutes to make the result from 1-0 to us to us losing 2-1 in the game. Quite poor from us, to be honest. Really poor passing. And if you thought that was enough, no, it wasn't. Neri breaking down hard defence again. Just poor from me, diving in. Harnik picks up the ball and completes his hat-trick in under 15 minutes. This was shocking. I honestly couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was just diving into tackles. I was getting really frustrated. I did take a few minutes at half time to just stop playing, because I was getting a bit frustrated because they were just passing it around me because I was diving into all these tackles. We came into the second half, maybe playing a little bit better. I made no changes at this point, I don't think, but Kone puts the ball to GANVOULA. He does so well to hold off another player, and with his left foot, I believe that's his weaker foot, just bangs it top bins. What a finish by GANVOULA. Former Anderlecht man gets his, I believe, third goal of the season now. What a fantastic finish. I mean, it's hard enough to hold off players in this game. A lot of the time, defenders are very good at muscling off the players, but GANVOULA's got quite a lot of strength, and you can see here from this replay, it's just a fantastic finish. Left foot into the top corner, no chance of the goalkeeper. It does one of these cool, sort of weird action replay things, and yeah, top bins. Fantastic by GANVOULA, and it looked like it would go from good to even better here. Shipnowski, 54th minute, somehow keeps hold of the ball, passes it into GANVOULA, who tries to finesse it, and I can't believe he hit the post there. So unlucky. And if he'd scored that, it would have been 3-3. We maybe even could have turned it round. But at that point, I think our heads sort of dropped. As you can see, it was all Hamburg after this. 64th minute, they get a chance. Maybe could have finished that. Another chance here. Ball put in. Kittel gets the ball, puts it in. It's blocked away, but it's a poor clearance. And Leibold puts it into Zulj, who came on as a substitute and forced a decent save from our keeper there. Quite a low down shot, so it was nicely saved there. Another chance here for Hamburg. Neri was terrorising our defence here, and he just hit it off the post there. So I suppose you can say we were unlucky to hit the post, but they also did the same, so it's 1-1 in terms of that. And actually, in the 82nd minute, sadly, they do get one more chance. Hinterseer, returning to his former club, passes it in, and Neri just slots it past the keeper. It was too easy, and he got a well-deserved goal. He played fantastically in this game. He had a really good game there, and I think he got an assist and a goal in this game, or possibly 2 assists. He was really good. He was quite pacey down that wing, which I did find quite. It was quite tricky to defend against him because he was so quick, and because my left back is not as quick. Danilo is not as fast as a lot of the wingers in this league, and I was thinking about possibly looking into getting a backup left back who's maybe a little bit pacier. I may see that in a future episode, because I'm really struggling against a lot of Bundesliga opponents where they are just taking us with a through ball and takes out like half my team in one ball. You can see there Harnik getting a hat-trick, obviously, with 3 goals and getting the man of the match. Sorry, did I say hat-trick? I meant he got a hat-trick, and because of that he got a man of the match. He performed fantastically, and I was thankful when he was taken off. It was a bit nice to see Hinterseer come on. I was a little bit worried he might score against us, because that's probably the most likely thing to happen in this game. But as you can see, we get an offer in for Salozzi, and we decide to reject it, even though, again, he is an older player. He's one of the older players that's been at Bochum for quite a while now, and I'd sort of like to keep him just as a sort of dressing room leader almost. He is still good enough to play, and he is one of our better right backs, and he also provides quite a lot of versatility, being able to play in centre defensive mid and right back. Could probably do a little bit of a job at centre back as well. So we decided to keep hold of him just for this season. Maybe at the end of the season we'll let him go. You can see here we do manage to pick up David Tavares, the man on loan from, I think it was Sporting Lisbon, and he looks really good. Quite a young player, and possibly at the end of this loan we might even try and pick him up on a more permanent deal. We could have done that and just made it a permanent, a definite permanent deal right at this instant, but I decided to just loan him in because I'm not sure how good he will be, and I don't really know a lot about him, so I just decided to bring him in on loan, see how well he does, and if he does do too well, then I suppose we could always sign him. It probably won't cost us that much extra, maybe 2 or 3 million extra if he's grown by quite a bit. He does look pretty good though, and he does actually come on in this game as a substitute. I didn't want to start him because our team was doing okay. In terms of performances, we weren't getting the results, but actually, performance-wise, we were actually not performing badly. We were still getting chances. That was not a good bit of defence though. I was really struggling with defending headers, and this team sometimes just switches off, and in set pieces like this, you can see there, I think it was Dekali. He has been one of our better defenders. No, sorry, it was Leitch. Both of them have been actually okay, but he made a big error here, not following his man, and I believe he's the top scorer in the league. He puts it past our goalkeeper, who maybe could have done a little bit better at his near post, making it 1-0 to the away side, and that was I think it was in before the 15th minute mark, which is really not acceptable. You can see here Lee Chung-Young getting a chance and forces a save, but we were just producing those sorts of chances. We get another chance with Zola and he just skies it. It's a really poor miss from him, and maybe that's given me a point to never start him in striker. I mean, ideally you want that to at least be going on target, and he doesn't really even get close there. So wasn't looking good for us in this first half. Something maybe with a 4-4-2, and I decided to change formation at half time because there's just something wrong. We weren't really producing the amount of chances we were producing in previous games, and there were a bit of sort of nothing chances when we did actually get a chance at goal. So you can see here I don't change any of the players. Luckily, a lot of our players are quite versatile, so they can all play in a few different positions. Kone I tried to start on the wing. He has definitely got the pace to start there, and actually we do bring on Shipnowski eventually to start on the right wing, and Kone drops over to the left wing, and he makes an instant impact. Shipnowski breaks down the wing, whips the ball in, and Robert Tesh is there to head that home, giving the keeper no chance. A very strong header from quite far out. I was quite surprised he managed to get that in, but a really good finish by the man who will be probably coming in to replace Lucia. Since his departure from the last episode, we do need somebody that's a little bit taller in that midfield to sort of sit back and defend. As you can see here, he can also do a little bit more than just defend, putting in his first goal for the season. Really good finish by the defensive midfielder. We will obviously be looking to replace him maybe by the end of the season. He is in his 30s. He probably will start decreasing, but hopefully he will stay in the sort of realms of his current ability, and hopefully he doesn't decrease too much. We were actually playing really well after we switched to 4-3-3. GANVOULA breaking through here, just couldn't quite get the angle on that shot, but we were playing really well. The formation change really helped us out, and you can see here in the 72nd minute we were waiting for our chance. Lee Chung-young does eventually get a chance, and GANVOULA is lurking for the goalkeeper to make a mistake. He knows he will, and coming into this game, 3 goals in 3 games for GANVOULA, making it his 4th in 4. So still keeping up his 1 goal per game ratio in competitive games, and he's looking quite good. GANVOULA is looking like a strong player for possibly even player of the season, possibly even to become our top scorer for the season. Tavares making a name for himself, just coming onto the pitch there. I believe that was his first few touches, nearly scoring an absolute wonder goal to put this game beyond doubt, but he couldn't quite finish it as it hit the post there. Very unlucky from the midfielder, but we do pick up a win there, and it is our first win in the league against this team. I can't pronounce their name. I believe it's Vayen. I can't pronounce the second name, but Vayen Wiesbaden, I think. But we do pick up a win against this team now. Not quite sure where they're predicted to finish. I did obviously have to change their team to start their best players, but they were quite strong in the first half. We were just a much stronger side in the second half, bringing it back from 1-0 down, and that showed pretty good character from our team. I was quite proud of us for actually managing to come back and win. But that will be the end of this episode. We will have the final episode in the transfer window in the next episode, which should be out hopefully tomorrow or the next day. But I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next episode. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.